Leaf falls into a pot of boiling water. No one plans it, no one asks for it. And yet, within a few thousand years, that single accident will topple monopolies, fund empires, spark a war, and place a cup of hot brown water on more tables than almost any other drink in human history. This is the story of tea, and how something so small became something nations were willing to steal, tax, and fight for. Legend says it happened in 2737 BC. The Chinese Emperor Shen Nung was a scholar, a herbalist, and a ruler who insisted that all drinking water be boiled for safety. One day, while resting beneath a tree, his servant prepared a pot of boiling water nearby. A gentle breeze swept through the branches. A few leaves drifted into the pot. No one noticed. Shen Nong tasted the strange infusion anyway. It was fragrant, slightly bitter, yet surprisingly refreshing. The tree was called Camellia sinensis. The drink would one day become known as tea. Whether Shen Nong truly existed is impossible to know. He lives somewhere between myth and history. But archaeology tells us something equally fascinating. Scientists have discovered tea residue in the tomb of a Han Dynasty emperor who died more than 2000 years ago. Burnt tea leaves have also been found in ancient tombs dating back nearly 2400 years. Long before tea became a daily comfort, it was medicine. People chewed the leaves, boiled them, and used them to treat illness. Tea was valued for healing long before it was enjoyed for pleasure. Centuries passed. Tea slowly became part of everyday Chinese life. It moved from medicine to culture to ceremony. By the time European traders finally reached Chinese ports in the 17th century, tea had already shaped an entire civilization. Then Britain discovered it, and something extraordinary happened. An island thousands of miles away became completely addicted. By the 18th century, tea was no longer a luxury. It had become an essential part of daily life. Factory workers relied on tea mixed with milk and sugar to get through long hours of exhausting labor. It offered warmth, energy, and comfort. But Britain faced a dangerous problem. Only one country controlled the world's tea supply: China. China grew it, processed it, and decided its price. Britain had little choice but to pay. The importance of tea became clear in 1773. In Boston, angry American colonists protested British taxation by throwing an entire shipment of tea into the harbor. Today, we remember it as the Boston Tea Party, but it also proved something remarkable. Tea had become so valuable that people were willing to destroy an entire cargo to make a political statement. Britain desperately searched for a way to escape China's control. Its solution would change history: to pay for the vast amounts of tea it imported. The East India Company began selling Indian grown opium in China. Millions became addicted. China fought back. Britain answered with warships. The First Opium War followed. China was defeated. The conflict made one thing painfully clear: as long as China remained the only producer of tea, Britain would always depend on another nation. The answer was simple: grow tea somewhere else. But there was one problem. China carefully guarded every secret of tea cultivation. In 1848, the East India Company hired a Scottish botanist named Robert Fortune. His mission sounded impossible: travel into regions of China that were closed to foreigners, learn the secrets of growing and processing tea, then smuggle living tea plants, seeds, and skilled workers out of the country. Fortune shaved his head, wore traditional Mandarin robes, attached a horsehair queue, and disguised himself as a Chinese merchant. For months, he traveled through the remote Wuyi Mountains, one of the world's most closely guarded tea producing regions. He carefully studied every step of tea production, collected living plants, gathered seeds, and secretly recruited experienced tea workers. The plants were hidden inside specially designed sealed glass cases, strong enough to keep them alive during the long sea voyage. Historians later described the mission as one of the greatest acts of corporate espionage in history. The stolen knowledge transformed British India. tea plantations spread rapidly across Assam. Later, they reached Darjeeling. Within a few decades, India became one of the world's largest tea producers. By 1888, Britain imported more tea from India than from China itself. The nation that had invented tea had lost its monopoly, somewhere between an emperor's accidental sip and a stolen crate of tea plants. Tea stopped being just a drink. It became power, it became leverage, a reason for war, a target for espionage, and a force that reshaped global trade. Today, you can pour yourself a simple cup of tea. You'll see no sign of Shenlong, no trace of Robert Fortune's remarkable disguise, no reminder of wars, trade, or empires. Only warmth, only comfort, only a quiet moment, yet hidden inside every cup, is one of the most extraordinary journeys in human history. So the next time you make yourself a cup of tea, pause for a moment and ask yourself, what other ordinary things in your home have quietly changed the course of history?